Everyday amazing with Sky Alton. Everyday amazing. Everyday amazing with Sky Alton. Everyday amazing. Everyday amazing with Sky Alton.
Welcome to another episode of Everyday Amazing with Sky Alton. We have a special guest and we're doing something a little bit different for this episode. I am here at Harlow's, which is the comedy club / nightclub out here in Sacramento. And I have a very special guest. He's a comedian, very funny. His name is Esau McGraw. How you doing, brother?
You know what? Esau is how some people say it some places, usually in like the jungles of Peru. Okay. You know what I'm saying? In places like that where they don't speak no English or something. You know what I'm saying? But it's Esau.
Esau.
Or if you're Spanish, it's Esau.
Okay, I like that. Esau.
I don't want a man calling me that though. Only the females call me Esau. You can't soften the E if you're a man.
You right?
And no disrespect.
Okay. All right. So, man, let's get into this interview. So at what age did you start? Did you know that you wanted to be a comedian?
8.
8 years old.
8 years old.
Okay. Now, was that because family just telling you it was funny, or
because my brother used to sneak out the bed to watch TV, and if he got caught, he didn't want to get his ass beat by himself, and he was older than me, so he used to make me get up with him. And so I used to watch late night TV,
mm-hmm.
and then when the comedians came on, I understood everything they were doing. Like I just understood the code of it. And then I was 8, but by the time I was 10, I was researching it because me and my brother had been sneaking out the bed for 2 years at this point. So I've seen a lot of comedians. And I started wondering, I started thinking, where these dudes come from? Like, there's no comedy school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like magicians to me. Like, so when you're 10 years old, what 10 years old don't want to be a fucking magician?
Sure.
So I'm like, well, I don't want to be a magician because that's corny as fuck.
Right.
So I want to be a comedian because it's like you hold people's intellect in there, and fun, like in the palm of your hand. And I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? How do you do that? And so that's what I wanted to learn. I set out to figure that out.
Okay, so with that, who did you used to watch? Like, who's been some of your comedians that's inspired you most?
Well, when I was a kid and we used to sneak out the bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
We used to watch all these shows. So I used to watch like Saturday Night Live, Kids in the Hall, Fridays, the Benny Hill Show, all these different shows. And then, we used to sneak out the bed and watch the Tonight Show, and we used to watch the comedians, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's this comedian named Franklin Ajay. He used to write for Richard Pryor. He's a really good television writer. He's one of the most prolific television writers in television writer history, right? But he's a stand-up comedian first. And I'm 10 years old and I saw him, and it was the first black stand-up comedian that I ever seen. And he was so smart and so cerebral, it just reinforced what I already wanted to do. So it's like, and I never seen a black male do it.
Right.
And so I just identified with him. He was just really smart, and I understood everything he was doing.
Mm.
So I was just like, damn, I felt like I fucking met a Jedi, on TV, that's it. I want to do it, but that's how.
So would you say that you mirror some of your comedy based off of, what you saw with him?
The idea of what I got from him when I was 10 years old is that it's like misdirection, smart. Even if I tell a fart joke, it's smart.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So it's smart first and funny second. But if the audacity of the thought is funny enough to begin with, then it's just fucking hilarious.
It's just funny, yeah. Okay, I get that.
But I find that I'll have a thought that's funny as hell, and then I figure out how to make it smart.
Okay. So, what was your first big comedy show? You want to do comedy at 8, right?
Yeah.
And from there, tell me a little bit about how you got started. How'd you hone your craft?
Well, in my head, So like I was just always working on it. I knew what I was gonna do. And I'm writing notes. I got notebooks. I got notebooks. I got like notebooks. Like I'm gonna be a comedian. I'm 8 years old, 10 years old. I'm writing material.
Okay.
I got notebooks from 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I'm doing a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm DJing, I'm breakdancing. I played baseball till I was 23. A whole bunch of other stuff. But I'm still the whole time I'm writing comedy. Even I'm playing baseball in the dugout. I remember these motherfuckers dying all day long. You know what I mean? In high school, I went to Burbank, I went to McClatchy, I went to Kennedy because they kept on shifting me to schools. I went to American Legion. I went to school with the pregnant girls and gangbangers for 8 months because they said I was a distraction to the rest of the kids in the school district. So they put me in a continuation school. And then they didn't know I was there because I was like, why the fuck are you here? You're not pregnant. You're not a gangbanger. You can't pretend it. So they started skipping me to schools and I got back to my regular school. But the whole time, I was working on being a comedian. It's like, whoever wants something, gets something. The whole school against me.
Dang.
From the 9th grade to the 12th grade.
Your mama jokes better than they?
Nope.
Nope?
Nope. I'm talking about shit that niggas ain't ready for. Talking about your eye whites, your gums. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anything, your toenails. You know what I mean? Your chin cleft. Like, your mama so fat, your eardrums stink, bitch. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Just obscure shit. Black ass lungs, black ass shoulder blades, having ass nigga. Whoopi Goldberg shoulder blades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And it's just the what the fuck that just throws people off guard, keep them tilted. They don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say next, and it's entertaining.
Okay, so what was your first big show, like that you did?
Man, my first big show that I did. I got to open for D.L. Hughley.
Okay.
When he was hosting Comic View in the 90s.
Okay.
He was just that guy, and he should just cap on everybody all the time.
Yeah, that was his whole thing.
It was me against the whole school, right?
Yeah.
So he let me open for him one night at the Crest Theater. It was a sold out show, and I went on stage and I just murdered the audience, bro. I just let that guys have it. I talked about everybody in that bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And so DL comes on after me and says, he fucked y'all off so bad, I'm not going to say nothing to y'all. Y'all want me to just do material? And they was like, yeah! And he did an hour of material without talking to nobody in the crowd.
Because that's normally his thing, right?
Yeah, that's what he was known for.
Yeah.
And I was one of them dumbass young comedians, you know. I'm like, oh, it'll be better than the headliner. You know, I'm competing with the headliner, that dumb fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never worked with him again.
He was like, you was funny.
Nobody wants to work with a guy who's competing with you, man. You know the principle of competing is me winning and you losing. Motherfucker, I hired you and you want me to lose? Get the fuck out of here. That was me. I was so fucking dumb. But I killed that shit and he did his thing, you know what I mean? And we've been cool ever since. He just was confident enough as a comedian and as a man to see I was just a young, hungry comedian trying to impress him.
Right.
You know, he was cool. Yeah.
So, what was the best city that you performed in, or your favorite city? The best city that you ever performed in, or your favorite city to perform in? Because I'm pretty sure the crowd is different. Some cities you just love because you love the energy all the time. Some cities,
I used to feel that way.
Okay.
You know, man, if you pay your money to see me, I don't give a fuck where I'm at. Let's go.
Right.
If you like me enough to spend your money to come see me, I'm gonna give you a show. I don't give a fuck if there's 14 people in here or 1,400. You spent your money that you worked on to get, and then they made you buy some drinks when you got in this bitch, and then you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But I'm gonna go hard. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. I got over them little fucking, biases and shit.
Okay.
I can be a bar. I could be at the Barclays Center. I could be at the Staples Center. I could be at the fucking where the Kings play, packed house or 6 people. You're gonna get my best.
I like that mentality.
You know what I mean? It's all valuable. If you can rock 6 people, you think you can't rock 6,000. So concentrate, lock in, give full engagement, rock these 6 people, and work that muscle out. If you don't, you just miss the opportunity.
Now, I had heard, that you used to be part of PCP.
Yeah.
What was that like?
The Fat Comedy Player?
Yeah.
It was an improv group at the Comedy Store during Fat Tuesdays.
Okay.
And I was in there. I played like 6, 7 characters a night, playing a whole bunch of different characters, doing improv games and stuff like that. We opened the show up for about 3 years. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
I would say now, would you say that helped? Because I used to be a theater arts major before I was switched over to communications, and you know, it's funny because when I was in high school, I never wanted to do theater. I was like, you know, nerds do theater. Theater was just a different crowd. You know, I played basketball.
Right.
You play basketball, you wasn't doing theater.
Yeah.
When I got to college,
on everybody on the 8-foot course at the junior high school.
So you used to dunk on everybody?
On the 8-foot course on the junior high school.
Okay.
Go to junior high school and go to the 8-foot course. I was Michael I was Nick Jordan. I was
on the A4 course. So I had to think about that for a minute. I was like, oh, like that?
Yeah, I dunked twice on the 10-foot in my prime. I don't even remember what age I was, but I got up there twice. Other than that, it was just hang time.
No, but when I went to college, that's when I got into theater, and it really helped me a lot, like with public speaking and,
Right.
and then the people you meet and all that, and it's just different, you know. And I kind of wish I had did it in high school. It would have maybe prepared me better. So that's why when I heard about that, I wonder if that really, you know, kind of helped with your stage presence. I mean, playing characters, man, is a lot, and playing 6 in one night. You know, that's
Man, I was in a drama class in the 10th grade. That's the only A I ever got.
got it.
You know what I mean? In high school.
Not even PE?
PE is when you go to that's when you skip school. What the fuck are you talking about? I was on the baseball team. What the fuck I need PE for?
That's true.
That's the nigga to school. Nobody could beat me running. I think maybe 2 people thought they could, but track and baseballs at the same time, so we never raced. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, yeah, I've been locked in. Like, I did a bunch of other things, but, you know, I've been subconsciously, sometimes intentionally, but always kind of locked in on stand-up. And my mother was an English teacher at City College, Sacramento City College. So I had to read. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, you know, she used to do wardrobe, you know, in theater. So when I used to get out of baseball practice, I used to wait for my mom to get off of work because she was volunteering doing wardrobe at the theater. So I'd be sitting up in the back doing my homework, watching the rehearsals for Fences, Cats, Fiddler on the Roof, all that shit, and watching all the direction and all that other stuff. And when I got to LA, and I'm acting like I remember all these
stuff
different things that I learned when I was 12 and 14 and 15, waiting for my mom to get off work in this theater class at this college. So I understand that distance creates tension and all these other things like that and blah, blah. So when I'm acting, I was like, this dude's really good. I'm like, I grew up in the theater.
Right.
I mean,
I've been around
it. My mom old school. She's a sew. So she sew all the costumes and shit, you know what I mean? And I used to be sitting there soaking up the
game. Yeah.
And it helped me with improv when I started doing improv and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Now, would you say, what would you say, besides being funny, what do you think is an important trait that a comedian needs to make it in this business, man? Because it's a tough business, right? Like, it ain't everybody. A lot of people are funny, but not a lot of people can do what you do. And so, what would you say that there's something else that you need besides, you know, because being funny around your friends and being able to do stand up is a whole different ball game. I know lots of people funny at the barbershop, but they can't do what you do.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a craft, it's an art. You know what I mean? And the main thing about the art is, you know, anybody can do stand-up. But who could do stand-up for a living? You know what I mean? And then who's brave enough to work at it when there's no opportunities in sight? You know, you running full speed in the dark on faith. And that's the strength that it takes to be successful at comedy. And if you can't elevate in your comfort zone. So a lot of people are like, you know, hey man, you know, well, I don't know what you do for a living or whatever, but engage 100% engagement on whatever the fuck you're doing and see if you can get it. And work that shit until, you know, if you, because I used to own a barbershop in Sacramento and stuff like that. But I moved to LA, I changed everything, but I had to run in the dark, full speed though. Yeah.
I think that's a good point, because similar to that, like I said, when I used to do theater, part of the reason I changed from theater is because I didn't have the confidence to run on that, right? Like I used to want to be like, you know, be actor, but you know, you hear about some people who weren't making it and struggling, you know, until they made it. And you know, I'm from the Bay Area, and I already knew struggling, right? And so I was like, ugh. I mean, I'm not, like, for me at the time, I was like, it didn't sound all that appealing, you know, like my acting teacher used to talk about how he used to sleep in the car and all this for auditions and all that, it just at the time I was like, nah, man, I'm past that. I'm not trying to do that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a degree in something else, and then once I knocked out the way, then I'll go back and maybe try to pursue acting or whatever I want to do. And so I think, you know, hearing you talk about that at Run on Faith, I think, yeah, man, that's probably like really what it takes, because if, you know, it's a chance, right?
But the thing about it is, it's like there's really no wrong way to do it. You know, because like you just say, like you could say like a Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods had a golf club in his hand his whole life. Right? So he's streamlined into being the best golfer in the world. Right? But then you have a dude, he got a golf club in his hand when he's 4 years old, but then, you know, it's like, man, he really wouldn't want to play golf. You know, I'm going to go play on a basketball team when I'm 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to go play baseball. And so now I speak and understand basketball and angles and different things. Then I'm going to go play baseball, and then, oh, yeah, cool. And then I'm going to go play tennis and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, when I'm about 16 or whatever, I'm going to pick up the golf clubs again. That was pretty good when I was a kid, but I'm going to pick it up again. But you speak 4 or 5 different languages from other sports. Now you concentrate on golf because you realize that's really what you want to do.
Right.
Tiger Woods don't know if he really want to be a golfer. His dad made him do that. He might have been a baseball pitcher. You don't know.
Right.
But this guy who's back at golf at 16 knows this is really what I want to do, because I tried a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm back to golf, and I'm really passionate. I'm fully engaged. But I speak the language of 4 or 5 other sports that really help me engage and really see this thing differently than this guy right here, who's the best golfer in the world, but he sees it one way. So now he's 35, he didn't fell off. Now I'm 42, I'm the best golfer in the world.
I like the way you said that up.
It's a different path, but there's one that, you know, he learned in a concentrated structure and you learned in chaos. And that chaos paid off for you more in the long run, because you can handle more stress and you can handle more diversity because you learn in a diverse way. He learned one way.
Right.
So that's how these things kind of work. You know, your experience in life is still germinating in the ether as you live, and you live different ways. This dude live in one way. So as you get to, so he gets here, he plateaus, and you get here, and you germinate, and all of a sudden you're like, I love golf. Boop, 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 boop. He was 35, now you're 45, but you're the best golfer in the world. You know what I mean? You're still the best golfer in the world.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So, you know, you may get back to drama, but now you got all these other skills that you diversify that helps you even be more of a human being through understanding. That makes you even better actor now, because you went off these other paths and then you came back. So you learned a little chaos, figured out, well, shit, then you go back to acting. Now you done had your heart broke, you divorced, you done lost a couple of jobs, you done lost a house, you done rented a car, you done started a business, you lost the business, now you're back to acting, and all that shit goes into acting.
Man, you might want to write a book after this, man. You know, like after you know.
I gotta write a book. I just did an interview.
Hey, but I'm just saying.
Just watch the interview again.
I'm just saying, man. Your knowledge, you might, you know, #1 seller.
I learned that shit through trauma. You can learn one way or the other, but you're gonna learn, motherfucker.
So, okay, with technology nowadays, man, do you think, like, you know, you got a lot of experience, man, in this field, and so nowadays we're seeing a lot of people use technology to help them get into the business, like like Vines and TikTok and all that. Do you feel like that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing?
Hell yeah. Why would the younger generation have to deal with the bullshit I did?
Some
people get it at 22. It took me 42. Get it 22. Get it, bro. But you got shit that I didn't have. I'm not fucking mad at that.
That's true, but some comedians feel like it, you know, is different, right? Like anybody can be like, well, not anybody, but some people are funny for like a minute, right? But being funny on stage, you got to be for a lot longer than a minute. Yeah. And so, you know, some people feel like going through the struggles that you went through toughens you up. As a comedian, whereas if you get famous from you know, social media and all that, you ain't really prepared for, you know, the stage, because you ain't been through it, the live crowd.
You know, there's different avenues. Like I said, like, okay, you could do social media, right? You get a huge social media following, and then you're in these clubs selling the clubs out. The clubs don't give a fuck if you're funny. They're selling food and drinks. People, you know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the day, you're the best comedian in the world. The comedy ain't about, at the end of the day, the business of comedy is not about how funny you are. It's about putting asses in seats. And that's it.
That's true.
So fuck how funny you are.
Okay. That's a good way of putting it.
Them niggas are selling out arenas. I can go after all of them. But I'm a savage. I'm a fucking werewolf. You know what I'm saying? I'm a poor motherfucker too. You know, it's like boxing. You know what I'm saying? Who can whoop the poor dude? Nobody. The poor dude gonna beat everybody's ass until he champ. Then he gonna get rich and get his ass whooped by a poor dude.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, fucking comedy is the same way. No comedian right now who's a fucking millionaire, billionaire comedian is funny as he was when he was poor. Not one. Show me one. Show me one. I'll pull up his old shit and put it up his new shit. And it's gonna be me too. I'm never gonna be as fucking funny as I am right now if I'm rich. Hell yeah.
It's a good perspective.
So don't keep me poor, y'all. Don't help me. People keep me poor so I can stay funny for their entertainment. That's what I believe. I'm going crazy.
So, for you personally, man, what are your future comedy plans?
Hey man, I'm just gonna do comedy, man, and talk to the people, bro. And I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm writing scripts. You know, when I'm old, I want to be a showrunner.
Okay.
I want to create shows and opportunities for other people, and you know, so that they don't have to go through the bullshit I had to go through.
When you say the bullshit, like what do you mean about that? Like,
I ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you to ask me that again in 3 years, and you're gonna be like, you know, remember I answered that question? Never mind.
okay.
It's the bullshit. Every fucking business has bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Every opportunity has difficulty attached to it. So there's bullshit. It's just general bullshit that goes along with everything in life. You know what I'm saying? You get married, you meet the fucking love of your life, you're going to be arguing with, if you stay married for 15 years, you're going to argue with that bitch for 7 of them. This is the bullshit that comes along with everything that's great and good. You know what I'm saying? If you plant a garden, bro, the fucking aphids and the weeds are going to come in and try to fucking eat your shit. Anything positive is going to be fucked with. You know what I mean? So it's just the regular bullshit. My business has bullshit. If you're a mechanic, there's fucking bullshit in your business. So when I say the bullshit, it's just the bullshit.
Right.
You know, it's just the bullshit.
Okay.
Every business has bullshit because people are bullshit.
What's your favorite stand-up bit and why?
I don't have no favorites.
You don't have no favorites.
It's like asking which one of your kids you love more.
Yeah, I heard. Hey, listen. I heard it.
Like, which one of your kids do you love more? The light one or the dark one? You know what I'm saying? It's like, the jokes that I wrote when I was clinically depressed probably are like my favorite kids.
Okay. I was saying, we're not supposed to, but people have favorite kids.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that, because there's kind of like this stigma, and I didn't create it, but I've heard it, that people, like a lot of comedians who are, you know, we see you on stage, we have this big stage presence, but in reality, when you guys are off stage, a lot of them are like quiet and like sometimes like loners. Would you agree with that? Or
yeah.
Okay.
I would agree with it.
All right. So you see, like, you know, you personally, you don't really talk a lot, like when you're not on stage.
Yeah.
Now, is it more so because you do that shit for a living, so you're like, listen, I ain't get paid for that, so I'm just gonna be a little bit more quiet, or is it more like that's your personality?
I think it's just my personality. I live in my head a lot. You know what I'm saying? My inside voice ain't quiet. My inside voice is a savage, nigga. And my inside voice is like, what the fuck is you looking at, nigga? But my outside, it'd be like, I'm tired, man. It's been a long day. You know what I mean? I woke up this morning. I ain't ate in 2 days.
2 days?
Hell yeah. I bought a juice, but I didn't drink it, and a salad. That's been going. I be forgetting. And then I be forgetting. It's like, why am I so grumpy? Why did I about to cuss that lady out at the airport? Nigga, you ain't ate. Get a Snickers, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. I just live in my head a lot, you know what I mean? And, you know, I just been on this personal development journey for like the last couple of years. So, you know, I don't major in minor things. So if it's just not worth the effort of energy, I just don't participate. You know, in certain conversations I'm not interested in. So I just won't participate.
Well, I'm glad you were interested in this one, man. I'm glad you said.
At shows, though, see, people interact with you at shows. See, I'm at work. You know what I mean? And I'm focusing. I'm at work. I'm about to do an hour of stand-up. So people are like, hey, man, let's take some pictures, blah, blah, blah. I'm like really in a zone. And I'm learning to socialize in that zone. But I'm in the zone. So people are like, oh, he's kind of quiet. I'm fucking about to do a show. I got 3 fucking funny motherfuckers in front of me that are opening for me, and the people paid to see me. So theoretically, I'm supposed to be the funniest person on the show, right?
Yeah.
I'm the headliner, right?
Yeah.
And I got this motherfucker out here killing, and I hired him to kill, right?
Right.
So I really need to focus and be disciplined on what I'm here for. It's a business trip. It's not a family reunion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody else is in a social mode, and I'm in a business mode. So they be like, oh, he's just kind of quiet. Yeah. Let's just go around the corner and, have some drinks and shit.
Right.
Let's throw some darts in it. It'd be a different situation.
Right.
But most comedians in a comedic setting are focused. And it just comes off as us being, quiet and detached. But we're really at work and we're focused.
No, that makes sense.
It's like working at a club. You at work and everybody else partying.
Right.
Like, bro, I got to make sure that don't nobody shoot this
that doesn't pop off.
Guard, bro. Like,
you want him to be like that.
Everybody mad at the security guard because he's an asshole. He's not being an asshole. He's keeping you alive, motherfucker.
Right.
He's trying to sneak guns in this bitch.
We've seen what happens when they're not in that focus mode.
Yeah, right. So yeah, but most comedians are really in focus mode when they're at shows, and most of the fans of comedy interact with us when we're at shows.
Right.
When they're around us, so they're like, "Oh yeah, he's quiet, but we're focused."
No, that makes sense. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, man, and come on the show and talk with me.
Thank you, bro, and congratulations and good luck and continued success with everything that you're doing, man. This is a great show, man. I really like you, man. You got a really good energy and a really good format, man, and I wish you success with it.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, especially for somebody like you who has so much like life experience, and then has been in the business, and been all over. I mean, I know you were even in Idlewild, you did some movies and stuff like that. So you have so much experience, and to hear somebody like you say that, it's just more motivation for me to just keep pushing and keep grinding. And, who knows, man, when you come back to SAC, man, maybe, I'll be further along in my career and I can have you back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just be brave and run in the dark, brother.
Thank you.
You'll get there.
Appreciate it.
You drive across country in the dark with your headlights on, you can only see 20 feet in front of you. Did that stop you from going 65, 70 miles an hour? No. And you arrived in California, right, from New York. Full 5 days driving in the dark. You can't see but 20 feet in front of you. Driving 70.
I appreciate it.
So you just got to run like that. You just have faith that you'll get there and the pavement ain't going to run out.
Every day amazing. Every day amazing. With Sky Alton. Every day amazing. Every day amazing. With Sky Alton. Every day amazing.